So I wanted to talk about my good friend Chuck. Anyway, he was talking about the ropes, the hoops, the shit you gotta do to please YouTube. Usually it's just my mug going, hi. It is. It's a pain in the ass. How frustrating YouTube can be. Okay, you'll never guess where I'm at. I hear dogs barking. Looming dark clouds behind me, and I'm wearing the same shirt and hat I was wearing on the last video. So I wanted to talk about my good friend Chuck. Most of you know him. I love the man. I love his family. But that's not the subject. The subject is he was talking about the trials and tribulations of YouTube. These are our sesame seed plants right here. How did I know how to identify them? And those are what you would call volunteers or whatever. They've just started on their own. Anyway, he was talking about the ropes, the hoops, the shit you gotta do to please YouTube. And we've talked about it for years, okay? But recently he made a video and mentioned it, and so I feel free to talk about it. He's not gonna care. But I remember guys used to say, shit, man, it's a bitch to figure out how to title. What raindrops now. Raindrops are falling on my arms. I can't feel it on my head because I have a hat. Oh, well, and I don't give a shit. Anyway, coming up with a title. Because YouTube works on spontaneity, on people's weaknesses and things like that. They prey on us, right? The viewer. So you got to have something catchy. Something, a picture that's, wow, jumps out at you and shit, right? Usually it's just my mug going, hi, right? And then what I'm doing, I walk and talk, blah, blah, blah. But you will get more. It's coming pretty good now. It feels really good though. So, not like Seattle rain, But it is. It's a pain in the ass. I'll put something up in my editing program, get it all set, hit produce, okay? And then it gets to the upload stage, and I'm like, what do I call it? What do I say in the description? I'm guessing maybe 5% or less actually read the description. Where many times these short videos, there'll be a plethora of frickin' information from research I've done on the subject. Again, no harm, no foul if you don't read it. Looking in the ditch. You can probably figure that out. But what title? Description? Something catchy. A photo that will grab someone's attention. A beautiful shiny temple or a car if it has cars in the video, something like that. Yeah, you can see the rain right up ahead of me. Oh, god damn! Hey, look at that rain coming, baby. It's a coming. She's a coming. I said 5 minutes. I'll review my video. But I said 5 minutes. But anyway, so I will be drenched. It'll look like I've been sweating my ass off when I walk into the neighborhood. The landlord, oh my God, you're gonna get heat stroke. But anyway, it's a bitch to please YouTube. It's kind of raining sideways now. I'll step it up just a little bit, not much. But it's a pain in the ass. It really is. And then the other day, I've already mentioned this, but I got a message from my friend, about, I didn't see anything, did you drop a video today? And I said, yeah. So I don't see it. Oh shit, well let me look. So I looked and gone. Just gone. Not blocked, not messages saying, add suitability or inappropriate material, do this or this or this or this to correct it, right? None. It was just gone. And like I said, I quote, it was a Bambi movie, for crying out loud, or a video. It was just me doing what I'm doing now. No swearing, nothing. And I'm like, what the? That's a glitch. Of course, after 10 attempts with talking to AI, I just threw in the towel, Said, hey, yo, Adrian, I'm throwing in the freaking towel, man. I couldn't get a response. Why is my video gone? Okay, so that can happen at any time to anyone. I know friends, I have friends that have completely, your channel shut down for 7 days. You're banned for 7 days. Okay, great. And then I've had people get videos taken down, and then they have to beg and plead to get them back so they can rework them, something like that, right? So it's kind of a, go ahead, man. It's just a guy walking on the side of the road. You can make it. But I'm like, it's frustrating. Not to the point of frustration where it's going to get me in a funk. That's the kind of frustration that will get me angry, right? Different kind of. Wow, man, it's really hitting me in the chest. Whew. At least she smiled. My Gotta Love Thailand shirt. Stick it to my man boobs, man. Hey, man, they're mine. I own them. I own it. I used to give a shit about that, but I don't anymore. Let's skip this puddle here. But that was the other thing I just want to talk about. It's how frustrating YouTube can be. Because you're always catering to the algorithm, and now AI to the max. All right? And if certain things are more popular than others, they'll push that out, and they won't push yours out. And on a small channel, such as mine, you really gotta jump through some serious hoops with rings of fire. You can hear the rain. And see it. But you got to jump through hoops to get them to push it out so other viewers that aren't subscribers can see it. Therein lies where you need a catchy title and a thumbnail. Okay, so that's why people resort to clickbait. I'm not going to do that. My clickbait photos will be something that's in the video. Okay? That's it. And, I had a nice comment, and then I'll seriously end this one. I read it today. The gentleman said, looking back here. This bike coming. Great video or something to that effect. Good work. I've only been doing my channel for X, and you know, I'm not. He's not growing and all that stuff, and he says, "I'm glad you're doing great and your channel's successful financially and all that kind of stuff." Well, let's talk about the YouTube financial part while I sit in a dry area. Oh boy. So, yeah, I'm wet all right. So, I have 6 members. I had 7, and I admit I've been remiss, I think is the word I'm looking for, in putting stuff up specifically for them. A lot of people put stuff up members only, and then 3 days later they put it up on the channel, main channel, for everyone else to see. That's one of the perks, you know. Oh, your viewers can see it before everyone else. Well, I kind of want to make mine just for the members, you know. They're not any different. It may be a little bit of different content, but there's nothing like pole dancing and shit. It's just a video specifically for the members. I don't want to like double dip, you know, or not tease or whatever you want to call it, which is totally legit to do, but I just don't want to do that. But I really lost my train of thought. Oh, it smells good, man. Now it's wet where I just was standing. Anyway, so thumbnails, titles, losing content, getting things, you know, copyright. I just found out, today found out that, because I started looking through my Gmail account related to my YouTube, on many of my videos where I'm using YouTube's, I'm doing air quotes, right, free music, I'm copyright sharing with the creator of that music. So it's not a strike, it's not a blemish on my channel, it's not even a slap on the wrist. It's just you're sharing, unless you remove this and change it, you're sharing it, right? So like I said, I was not kidding when I said I had like 700 or 800 views on a video, and literally that might be 5 cents, 5 American pennies. Okay, so I'm not raking it in. I'm not it's costing me money to do shit, to make content. Okay, I'm not gonna be e-begging and all that kind of crap. You know, but it costs money. It takes fuel to drive somewhere. It takes a hotel room. It takes food. It takes all that shit to make a little 15-minute thing that might get 10 cents, 5 cents, 3 cents. Okay, so there's no garbage bag full of money, you know, waiting for me at the end of the month. I had 7 members, but now I have 6, and I think that's probably because I said something that irritated them, or they weren't getting the member content. So I'm gonna, part of the addition that I was talking about earlier is making sure I focus on taking care of the members, you know. Yeah. And Yeah, and these onesie twosie things, I said this in, I think, the video I did yesterday. I said, you know, I use this, it says use this sound, so I use that sound. I put it to a picture or something. And I don't get anything for that. But I don't get a copyright. The person who created that music gets the money. I don't get a warning, I don't get anything like that. It's just not monetized. Which could have been 5 cents maybe. 3 cents probably. You just look it up. How many shorts do I have to make on YouTube to make money? And just Google it. You'll go, holy shit. So I'm doing it for the fun. So far I'm still enjoying it. Yeah, I wasn't in the mood when I went to the States to make any videos. And I've said that. And he's coming. Still see the sun, right? Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.